So good to be with you all today. I had a really hard day yesterday. I don't know if any of you can relate, but I go up and down. I have days where I'm like, taking care of stuff and it feels almost normal. And then there's moments, my kids went back to their dad yesterday and I just had this total just drop in my energy and in my ability to power through. And I got really emotional and I felt like, how am I going to get through this? And I'm not doing enough, or, I don't have the tools. And I just had this moment of panic. And then I taught my 6:45 class last night and I, shared on that. And then I got it all together. I slept well and here I am today and I'm feeling like it's doable today. So it's moment to moment. I just want to acknowledge that that might be your experience too. This moment to moment of like, wow, it's like new and like, wow, this challenge and I can handle it. And then the next moment of like, oh, it's overwhelming and, I have to sanitize all my groceries and I don't have the capacity and I don't have I just can't. So just know that, that you're not alone in that. And it's good to have these tools to come back. I listened to a talk with my teacher this morning and he was talking about being tested. We're all being tested. And it's like who you're going to be on the other side of this and who you are during your waking hours, making choices each day to like tackle what's on our plates. Okay. Sorry, I'm still dealing with my cough too. But I'm really glad to be here. Let's practice. Let's start in a seated meditation, or you can lay down. Just get comfortable for a moment. I have a reading that I'd like to share with you from the Yoga Sutras. So get comfortable, create your body in such a way that you can really hear, hear the whispers, your own soul. Thank you, Sandy. I see your message. Yeah, really like check in right here with yourself. You can place one hand over your heart, one hand over your abdomen if you like, or hands in your lap, and just let your hands be like the access to this physical, your physical body and this present moment. All we have is right now, this moment. Who are you being right now? How are you showing up right now for yourself? Right? It starts with the self. And so I have this little book on Yoga Sutras. It's called The Essential Yoga Sutra, Ancient Wisdom for Your Soul. And this one I opened to today is called How to Breathe. And the sutra translates to keep a close watch on the breath, outside or inside, paused or being exchanged. Observe too the place in the body, the duration, and the count, long and fine. And there's a translation, but the sutra, it's these little words of wisdom that we just can take in as these threads of truth. Here was the explanation or the interpretation of this sutra, How to Breathe. And just let the words come in one ear and out the other. So the breath is connected to the inner winds, which are linked to our very thoughts. This means that if we keep a close eye on our breath, both during our yoga exercises and throughout the day as well, then we can monitor the state of our mind and the condition of those two troublesome side channels. If you think about it, breath can be in three places: all breathed out when it pauses momentarily, all breathed in, again a pause, or moving between these two states. In meditation, in a yoga pose, with your family, with your boss, wherever you are, we strive to keep our breaths long and slow, with a constant even inflow and exhale. This keeps the inner winds calm, the inner winds associated with the mind, and thus our mind clear and focused. When we're nervous or upset, inhales tend to go much quicker than exhales. We correct this by mentally counting the seconds for each until inhales and exhales take equal time. Then extend the calm exhales further, making the exhales longer than the inhales. Since the inner winds are tied to our thoughts, with proper training, we can also mentally direct a certain number of breaths through specific inner blockages, and the inner winds will follow. So breathing into any space in your body that you need extra breath or support or love. I know for me, it's my gut, my belly, my heart space. Like breathing into those spaces that you feel are blocked right now from fear or worry. Let the inner winds be calm. Calm the mind, the body will follow. Good. Softly open your gaze, open your eyes, fluttering. Coming forward onto your hands and knees. We'll start with a few cat-cow warm-ups or whatever feels good in your body this morning. It could be moving back and forth in the linear fashion. Forgot to say, I'm not playing music here. If you want music in your home, go ahead and play whatever sounds good to you, whatever you want to hear. Move through cat-cows. You can move side to side. You can circle your pelvis. Sometimes I like to rise up to my fingertips, stretch my hands, return the fingers backwards. So let yourself move about a little bit freely right here. What I noticed practicing at home versus the studio is my home is much colder. So I really have to take the time to warm my body up slower. And then come to neutral, so a nice tabletop. And keep your left hand where it is. Slide the right arm forward and lower your chest. So stretch under the right arm, all along the right side. Yeah, so the right arm's on the ground. Bend the left elbow. Lower your chest and head. And if that's too much stretch on the shoulder, you can rest the forearm on the floor if it needs to be, or maybe lift up the forearm and get a little longer. And then come up, slide the right hand back under your right shoulder tabletop. Slide the left arm forward and lower the chest and the head. You're breathing into the sensations, right? Breathing into the stuck spaces, breathing into the spaces that feel tight or restricted. And then come back up to tabletop. Good, and then take your right leg back with the ball of your foot on the floor. You're gonna press your heel back away from you. Stretch through the calf. Good, and then open the right arm. Spin the right foot flat, open the right arm, modified side plank. And the left shin can pivot behind you if you need a little bit more support, or stay right underneath you in one line, a little more core strength. If you'd like, you can even float the right leg up, and the right arm can come overhead, reach towards the front of your space. Good, and then return your hand and your knee to the floor, tabletop. And take the left leg back, ball of the foot on the floor. Press back through the heel. One of my favorite things about this Zoom call is seeing your animals and pets. Animals, pets, kids, life happening, spaces you've created in your homes. Spin the left foot flat here. Keep the right arm down. Open the left arm. Good. And then maybe float the left leg up. Left arm can come overhead, get a little longer. Or the foot can stay down. Whatever feels good in your body. Expanding through the ribs and sideways. Good. And then bring the left hand, left knee back to the floor. And then tuck your toes under for downward dog. So you can lift the hips up. Maybe I like to walk my feet back, get a little longer. Or you can come into child's pose if that feels better for you right now. Child's pose, knees can be down. Good, and breathe. Lindy, your cat. So cute. You can move your hips side to side or bend one knee at a time. I like to press into one hand and the other, like a cat, kneading on a blanket, stretching side to side. Good. Now walk your feet to your hands, coming up to the front of your space. Do a ragdoll forward fold. You could sway side to side, holding opposite elbow with opposite hand. This is the other funny thing about being home. I made a crock pot, some food in the crock pot today. It's all I smell is like dinner. Reminds me of the bakery next door to Seoul. I feel like I'm back at Seoul. Okay, release your hands softly to the floor. And then bring your hands to your hips and you'll just roll yourself up to stand. Do a flat back, come all the way up, and then take your arms up overhead. Good, and then bring your arms out wide. Stretch across your chest and upper back. Good, and then take the right elbow under the left. Wrap the right elbow under, reach for your shoulders. Just hold on to the shoulders. Good. And then open it back up, expand through the chest and upper back, pin the shoulders back. Take the left arm under, reach for your shoulders or shoulder blades, lift the elbows up. Draw the jawbone back, firm through both legs. Good, and then open it up, open. Turn the thumbs down, take the hands behind your back, interlace your hands. Stretch your knuckles back, open the chest, straight arms. Yeah, so the arms just behind you, wherever they can lift. You can lift them or they can stay low. Good. And then release that. Take your arms up, big breath in. And exhale, forward fold, dive down, all the way down. And then lift halfway up. Bring your hands to your shins, lengthen through the spine. And then plant your palms, step back, high plank into the top of a push-up. And then set your knees down to the mat and stay in that incline shape. Knees down, but hips forward. Good. And so elbows are slightly away from the body, not tucked too far in. And then you'll bend the elbows, lower halfway down, and press back up. Let's do 5 of those. Pull your chest forward, bend the elbows, hover, press up. Slower is better. Come down, press back up. Nice, Lorena. Come down, press back up. Who's counting? Let's do one more. Down and up. And then lower all the way down onto your mat, your belly, point your toes. And cobra, so press into the palms, lift the chest. The shoulders press straight back. Heather, your dogs are awesome. Draw your jawbone back. Lift a little higher. And then you'll lower down, tuck your toes under, press up to hands and knees, or plank, and then downward facing dog. Pull the hips up and back. Downward dog is an opportunity, right, to come back to your breath. Even out your inhale and your exhale. Take one more breath. Empty, exhale completely. And then bring your feet to your hands. It can be a walk, hop, or tiptoe to the front of your space. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, bow, exhale. Squeeze your air out, root down, reach up, inhale, extended mountain, stretch your fingers up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold, dive back down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, step it back, high plank. Good news, set your knees down, press your hips forward. 5 push-ups again, elbows slightly away from the body, lower, and come up. Keep your shoulders pressed into the socket, so integrate the shoulders. It can be a micro bend or a deeper bend. 3, pull the pit of the belly in and up, 4, and then 5, lower all the way down onto your belly. For cobra, point your toes, squeeze your elbows in, peel the chest up, draw the jaw back, and lower it down, tuck your toes under, press up and back to down dog. It can be to plank or to your knees, and then pull your hips up to the sky. And if that's too much on your body or your wrists, you can always be in child's pose with your knees down to the mat. Or downward dog. Good, Sandy. Hips up, downward dog. Yep, I see you in that the beautiful palm tree, the virtual background. Let your exhale be a little bit longer than your inhale. Take one more breath in. Good, Neil. Exhale it out. Look forward and bring your feet to your hands. It can be a hop, step, or tiptoe. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen, pull your chest forward, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, nice Fred, drop your head. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. You press both feet down, reach up. One more time through, exhale, forward fold, dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank. And good news, one more round of push-ups. I like sets of 3, so 5 times. Pull the chest forward, lower, down and up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lower all the way down onto your belly. For cobra, point your toes, lift your chest, or if you'd like upward dog, you press the palms down and lift up. Hips and thighs up, shoulders back, back of the skull back. Good, downward facing dog. Pull the hips to the sky. Or child's pose. Child's pose is always available. Breathe right here. Yeah, accept the dog love, the tails are wagging. Whatever's in your space, like be present to it, just rather than resistant. Be present. Good, Jan. Take another breath in. Full breath in. Empty completely. Look forward and step or hop. You can bring your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Bend your knees. For chair, drop your hips. Lift up through the upper body. A really strong like almost suction cup in the abdomen. Pull the pit of the belly in and up. And in this moment, maybe this pose tests you, like this whole life experience is testing you. And who can you be here? Can you be calm, powerful, present, easeful, rather than resistant? And my teacher says, quarantine your negative thoughts. Quarantine, the fear. Take one more breath in. Exhale, bow forward, empty it out. Inhale, halfway lift. And then step your left foot to the back of your space. Step your left foot back. And then you'll just bend and straighten the right leg a few times. You'll bend. Maybe let the left knee touch the ground briefly, and then pull your hips up and back. Do that a couple more times. drop down and in, and lift up and back. And the next time you come into your lunge, let the left knee set down to the ground, and you can point or flex the back foot and bring your hands up to your right thigh. And you want to just kind of push your abdomen away from the thigh as the hips come forward. And if you need a blanket or pillow under the back knee, go grab it, or towel, that's fine too. Good. Nice. And then from right here, you'll take just the left arm up. Keep the right hand pressing into the right thigh, reach the left arm up and back, and then over to the right a little bit. So you're stretching open through the left side of the waist. Good. And take another breath. One more breath right there. And then bring it back to center. Take both arms up, go up and back even. Good, Debbie. And then hands down to the mat. You'll tuck the back toes under and step forward. Step your left foot forward to meet your right. Halfway lift, inhale. Step your right foot back. You want to be in a nice long lunge. I like to be on my fingertips, like tented on the ground, or hands on blocks or books are fine. And then bend and straighten the front legs. You press the hips down and then pull them up and back. A couple times you can even tap the right knee gently to the ground. Nice, Bonnie, and then pull up and back. One more time, tap. And go up and back. And then you'll come down into your lunge. Set the right knee gently to the ground, or a towel or block or blanket, yeah? And then hands to the left thigh. And instead of resting on the front thigh, press your torso away from it. Good. And I like to press the top of my back foot into the floor a lot. And then take the right arm up and back, and then over to the left. Now you're opening up that right side. And breathing, right? Exhales longer than the inhale. Take one more breath here. Come back to center. Reach both arms up. One little emphasis, up and back. And then bring your hands down, tuck the back toes under, and you'll step forward. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Bow forward, exhale. You can bend the knees, drop your head, shake it out. And then bend the knees, drop your hips, reach up, chair pose. Hold this one again for 5, 4, sit a little deeper, 3, get a little deeper, and then stand up, reach your fingers to the ceiling, and bring your hands to heart center pause. Good, it's been fun trying to figure out where in my home the computer is best, where you can see me, I can see you. I've been moving you all around. Okay, right here, you're gonna take a step back with your left foot, a big step back, and then turn your feet parallel. So you'll turn towards the long edge of your mat. Good, and then interlace your hands behind your back, like we did standing, and you'll press your shoulders back, reach the knuckles down, lift up, and then hinge forward, bow forward from the top of the thighs. Allow your head to drop towards the ground. Good, and you can bend the knees as much as you need. Nice, Jennifer. Sway your hips slightly forward. Good, yes, and everyone, hips slightly forward. Good, Gail. Amy, bend your knees a tiny bit, yes. So you don't want the legs locked. You want a softness to the joint. Press the shoulders more to your back if you can. Good job, Reed. Lori's in the weeds again today. I see the grass you're in. Your virtual background. Good, release your hands softly to the mat. And then bring your hands up to your hips. And press down to come all the way up to stand. Nice, Ginger. And then right here, you'll turn your right toes back towards the front of the space, right toes forward. Hands stay on your hips, bend and straighten the right leg a few times. Bend and straighten, really keeping that right knee tracking. It's like tracking with the middle toe, like this, right between the second and third toes. And then bend the right knee, pause. This is called Warrior Two. Bring your hands to heart center, right to your heart center. Press your thumbs into your sternum, and then turn your torso towards the long edge of the mat. You're really trying to square the torso and keep the right knee moving right. So turn to the left. Psycho, turn left instead of right. There. Good, so you're facing that left side of the mat, but keep the right knee at a square. Press the right knee to the right, then open the arms. The arms are parallel to the floor, extending through the right arm and the left arm. You want pelvis to stay neutral, so it's not tipping to the left with the like pouring water out the right. Keep it nice and neutral. Sit deeper. Can you bend the front knee deeper? Breathe more. Pin the shoulders back more. Torso's turning to the left slightly. Good, and then straighten the right leg. Relax your arms. Turn the right toes in. Pivot the left toes to the back. Bend and straighten the left leg a couple times for Warrior Two. Good, take the arms out of it for a moment. Just bend and straighten the left leg. Pelvis neutral, kind of cinch in through the waist. And then bend the knee, pause, check that the knee's tracking over the second to third toe, hands to heart center. Yes, square your torso towards that long side of the mat. And then open your arms when you're ready. You gaze to the left. Let the right arm pull you back slightly in a tug of war. Pin the shoulders back, yeah, hold and breathe. And let the exhale in this moment of stress challenge in the body. Exhale longer than the inhale. It's a reprogramming. Your stress response. Good, straighten the left leg. Relax your arms. Nice job. Turn the left toes in. Turn the right toes out. We're gonna come back to Warrior Two on the right again. Hands to heart center, bend the right knee, drop right in. Open the arms, expand from the center of the chest out through both arms. And then side angle warrior, you'll tip to the right. You can set the forearm to your thigh with your palm facing up, right palm facing up, left fingers to the sky. Or you can go a little deeper. You can slide your right fingers to the earth on the inside or outside of the front foot. Good. The left arm can go behind the back if you want and grab hold of the top of your right thigh. Good, Amy. Maybe the left arm goes or right arm goes under the right thigh and you clasp your hands behind your hip. You just dip a little deeper to do that. Yes, Kara, exactly. And then press the hips forward and open the chest towards the ceiling. Roll open. Good work. And then unwind and come on up to stand. Bring your right toes parallel to the left. Right toes turn in. We'll try it on the left side. Left toes turn out. Make sure your stance is wide. Bend the left knee. Open the arms. And that tug of war. Grow roots in both feet. 100% commitment through both feet. And then tip to the left. Set the left forearm to the left thigh. And right arm to the sky. Good, Lindy. Yeah, left finger's active, palm facing up. And then maybe you reach your left hand down to the ground. Nice, Lorena. Left hand can go inside or outside the front foot. And maybe the right arm goes behind the back. Rainy. Lots of love for Lori. Right arm goes behind the back. You can reach into the top of the left thigh like a little pocket. Or take the right arm behind the back, left arm under, clasp, breathe, press into the right foot more. As the left leg gets tired, press into the right foot more. Emphasize on your breath. Emphasis on the breath. Roll open. Good, and then come on up. Nice, Maria. Come on up, bring your feet to parallel. And then toe heel the feet in once or twice. Turn your toes out at a diagonal. Bend both knees. Bring your hands like to heart center maybe, and then straighten the legs. We'll go down and up a couple times. It's like you're coming down like in an elevator, so you're not leaning forward, just straight down and up. Yeah, there's a gentle nudging of the knees out. Squat down and up, squat down and up all the way. And then squat down and hold it. Hold it. Some of you might play with lifting your right heel and set it down, left heel, set it down. You can keep alternating or maybe both lift. Squat another few inches. Hold it. Breathe. In this challenging moment, you breathe more. Both heels down, straighten your legs. Good job. Release your arms, turn your feet to parallel. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow forward. Wide-legged forward fold. One more time. And if your head touches, your hands touch, and you want to invert, there's a ability to lift here to tripod headstand. You press your hands and your head into the ground like a triangle, and the feet may or may not float. Good. Wherever you are, be there. Be right where you are. It's another opportunity to be looking at who you're being right here. When I offer something and maybe you're not there yet, like what happens inside, if you just be where you are with gratitude, acceptance. Good, Saiko. Yeah. Good, and then lift up to a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips. Come all the way up to stand. And then you'll turn the right toes back to the front and step back up into the front of your space. Mountain pose. And then you want to look down. You want to bring your feet to 12 o'clock. Toes straight ahead. Lift your 10 toes and spread your 10 toes. Press the mound of each big toe down. Press the center of each heel down. And from the ground, there's a lift through the whole body. Lift all the way up. And then pull the leg muscles to the bones. So you're standing in mountain. Leg muscles to the bones. Yeah, spin your inner ankles back. There's like an internal rotation of the thighs. And press your outer shins in. So the legs are just like granite cliffs. And then pull the front of the pelvis up toward the belly button and pull the pit of the belly into the spine. Really like dial in your center. That's the fire center of the body. And then take the sides of the body up towards the ears. So lift up and then expand through the chest and upper back, like broaden the chest and upper back. Good. Press, pull the front ribs, the floating ribs in towards the center. So you plug in right at the solar plexus. And then pull the shoulders back, but keep the front ribs in. Nice. And then the thoracic spine, that's that mid-upper back, presses in towards the body. And then pull the jawbone straight back. Feel your creation, this mountain pose with strength. Yeah, taking up space and strength. And there's a firmness. And then let there also be ease. Good job. Beautiful mountains. And then inhale, take your arms up, reach up. Huge breath. Keep everything the same though, really rooted and grounded as you go up. And then swing the right arm underneath the left for eagle. And it can be holding your shoulders like we began with, or right fingers into left palm. And then bend the knees slightly and stack the right leg on top of the left. And flex the right foot. So you pull the pinky toe edge of the foot back and press the pinky toe into the outer calf, outer ridge of the left calf. So you're really in that Tadasana, in that mountain pose with strength, and like there's a firmness and a strength. And then also there's that space, the ease. Lift the elbows a little higher. And then return to mountain pose. Arms down, like step right into your footprints. Inhale, sweep your arms up. We'll come to the other side. Take the left arm underneath the right. Left elbows under, fingers into palm, or hold your shoulders. Bend your knees. Stack the left leg on top of the right. Flex your foot, press the pinky toe into the outer ridge of the right calf. Lift the elbows to shoulder height. So it's that firmness, there's a firm foundation. 100% grounding down into what's on the earth. Balanced breath. And then come back to mountain pose, pause. Good, we'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swing the right elbow under. Bend the knees. Stack the right leg over. Right leg on top of the left. And hug in, hug your forearms into center line. Inner thighs squeeze into the center. And then mountain pose, pause. Extended mountain, reach up. Left arm under, eagle, left leg over. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return to mountain pose. And then just let yourself kind of swing it out or shake it out or wiggle about. And then come right back into mountain pose. Feet on 12 o'clock. Yeah, root and ground down. Hug muscle to bone. Lift up. And bring your left hand to your left hip here for standing leg raise. You'll lift the right knee and catch it. Catch the shin or maybe the foot. Some of you might be able to catch the foot. Right leg up. I know I'm not mirroring you. I don't know if it's confusing, but it's your right leg, my right leg. And then open the right leg to the right. You can reach the left arm to the left. Flex both feet, but be active. Very good. Bring it back to center. Set your right foot next to your left. Pause. Yeah, find that relaxed but firm stance. That's my new way of being with my kids. Yeah, relaxed but firm. All right, root through the right foot. Right hand to right hip. Lift your left knee. Yeah, transition for all of us, right? And then open out to the left. And yoga really prepares us for transitions. You can take the right arm out if you want. It really prepares you to be resilient, flexible, and yet grounded, right? In each and every moment. Yeah, firm, flexible, grounded, rooted, and uplifted. What's next? Come back to center. Set your left foot next to your right. Mountain pose. You can wiggle if you want or find stillness. And this next one will be airplane to half moon. So if you know that it's tricky to reach your hand to the ground, a block is nice, or a water bottle works really well, or a coffee table or a chair. But we'll start with airplane. So you'll have your left leg as your base, starting in mountain pose. And then the right leg just simply goes back as you come forward. You want to look at one point on the ground. And find steadiness. Ease. Maybe press out through the right heel more, the upper foot more. And then bring your hands together at your heart. Now, you're taking the left hand to the ground. Either 5 fingers like a tent, or hand on a block, or that water bottle's good too. And then open up to the right. Peel your body open to the right. You expand from the center line out. Good, Neil. You take the right leg a little higher, strengthening your glutes. Yeah, legs strong, core strong. Good, Donna. Nice, Jenny. Yes, Peggy. Reach through the right fingers more. All of you, reach through the right fingers more. Good. And then forward fold. You'll just bow. Bow in. Move your hips side to side. Wiggle if you need to. And then bend your knees and you'll roll yourself all the way back up to stand. Extended mountain, stretch up and back. And then mountain pose, bring your arms down by your side. Just reconnect, both feet on the floor, with your body in space. Shift your weight over to your right foot. Slide the left leg back, airplane. So you want the left leg straight and strong. There's this intention. Yeah, you're in mountain pose, just hinging. Like how much mountain Tadasana can you put in here? Good, Amy. Lift your shoulders up higher towards the ceiling. Tip a little lower, tip forward more. And then hands to heart center. Nice, Francine. Set your right fingertips to the ground. You got it, Fred. And open to the left. Yep, peel the left hip away from the floor. Stack the left hip on the right. Flex the left foot and press out through your heel more. Upper limbs active. Upper limbs active. Good, Jan. Breathing, right? The breath is what makes the difference here. Your breath makes the difference. And then forward fold, let that go. Any movement, anything you need, side to side. And bend your knees, you'll come rolling up to stand. Reach your fingers up to the ceiling. And then returning to mountain pose, arms down by your side. You tell balance is a theme today. We're gonna come into dancer. If you want a wall for this, you can bring your left hand to a wall or refrigerator, whatever's in your space. And then you'll bend the right knee and catch your foot. And I like to hold my foot from the inside of the ankle with the palm open to the right, but you can hold it from the outside also. Yeah, and then draw the right knee towards the left, hug in. And then right here, you wanna lift the front of the pelvis to the belly button and pull the pit of the belly into the spine. And then kick the foot into the hand to slide the thigh back, but keep the abdomen firm. We'll protect the lower back, lower spine. And then the left hand, if it's on the wall, will just slide up the wall. Or if it's in front of you in space, just reach it forward. Good. Press both shoulders back. Draw the chin back, jawbone back. Now bar stools work, anything nearby. Good, and then come back to standing mountain pose, pause. Sometimes I like a little twist side to side right here. And then we'll try the other leg. So you can bring your right hand to a wall this time. And bend the left knee, catch the foot from the inner ankle or the outside. And then you squeeze the knees towards each other, tail down, lift the front of the pelvis, firm the belly, and then kick. Breathe, right? Evening out your inhale and exhale. It's what I miss the most is the sound of your breath. Imagine we're all breathing together. And then come back to mountain pose. And you can take that little sway, side to side, any movement you need. Okay, good. So we're gonna come back to the front of the space. We're gonna take one more balance pose. It'll be tree. But we're gonna transition, we'll go tree and then step back to pyramid. So you wanna make sure you have your mat behind you. Okay, so you'll root through the left foot and the right foot will come up for tree and it can be on your thigh, inner thigh, or it can be on your calf. And then there's this sense of pressing in to the center line. So press the left hip and left leg to center, press the right foot into the left leg. You can stretch the arms up if you want. You prefer hands at your heart, or if you're holding on to something, that's fine too. Really lift and lengthen, like lift up. It's that root down to rise up. All parts working together. Draw the front ribs in, feel your core strong. Good, bring your hands down to your hips here. Now this transition, you wanna take the right knee up into your chest first, and then step it straight back and spin it flat. Both legs straight, lift up, lengthen, and then hinge forward over your left leg. If you have a block or a water bottle, this is another spot that you might wanna use it. Bring your hands to that, or hands to the floor. You can bring your hands to your shin, I prefer hands on the ground or blocks. So bend your front knee more, Fred. Bend the left knee till your hands touch. Because once the hands touch, you can push into the fingertips. Yeah, good, Jennifer. And pull the left hip back. Yeah, yes. And whether the leg is straight or not, doesn't matter. Good, Bonnie. Breathing. You pull the left hip back. Root the left leg down. Good, now listen carefully. You're gonna go back to three-legged dog. Plant your palms. Take your left leg back into the sky. You can bend the knee if you need to get there. Take the left leg up, bend the knee, roll open. And then step or help your left foot forward and step your right foot to meet your left, the front of your mat. Halfway lift, flat back, pull the chest wall forward. Exhale, bow forward, drop your head. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain, reach your fingers to the ceiling. And then bring your hands to your heart center. And then tree left foot to right leg, root through the right foot. Bring the left foot up, somewhere on the inner right thigh or calf. And if you're, every pose is a variation of mountain pose. So yeah, press through the big toe mound of both feet. The center of both heels, root down. Whatever they're touching. Pelvis neutral. Lengthen the sides of the body, pin the shoulders back. Maybe you reach up. Maybe you draw the head back and look up. And then bring your hands back down to your hips. Lift your left knee straight up to the chest, still balancing. And then take a step back for pyramid. So it's a short step. Inhale, pin the shoulders back, lift. Exhale, fold forward. And it's okay to bend the right knee, right? You want to get your fingers to the ground or a block or books. And then pull the right hip back. Pull the crease at the top of the right thigh back. Root down through the right big toe mound. The foot will want to peel off the ground. Be where, feel into your breath. Lengthening each exhale. Noticing the pause, the space between the breath, the fluctuations of the mind. It's stilling the fluctuations of the mind. And three-legged dog, you'll plant your palms, swing your right leg back and up towards the ceiling. You can bend the knee, roll open through the hip if you want. You don't have to. Good, and then bring both feet down to the ground. Pause right there, downward dog. Maybe you pedal it out or move your hips side to side. Yeah, downward dog, you can walk your feet back if they aren't. Good. Good, Cheryl. I've been meaning to email you back, Cheryl. I haven't forgotten. Your next inhale, come forward to a high plank. Hold that high plank, nice and strong and also soft. Oh, Kara, your gorgeous yellow lab. Soften between your shoulder blades, firm through your thighs, and then lower yourself down onto your belly and just rest. You can turn a cheek to a side, just lay down. Bring your arms down by your sides, turn your palms to face down. For locust, so you'll inhale, look straight down and rise up. Lift your shoulders, arms, and legs. And then lower down, and you can just rest, turning your cheek to a side or forehead to the floor. We'll do that one more time. Locust. Rise up. You're welcome to interlace your hands behind your back. You're welcome to keep your arms on the ground also. You don't lift as high if your low back is bothering you today. Instead, maybe tuck the toes and get long. I think length. Good, and then lower all the way down and just let yourself pause. And then come up onto your forearms. And you'll bring your forearms to the floor for Sphinx pose. Elbows right under your shoulders. Good. And then tuck your toes under, tuck your toes. And then you'll look down and pull your ribs, belly, hips, and thighs up off the ground, lifting to forearm plank. Lift up forearm plank and hold. Cinch in through the belly, the waist, thighs, firm. And then lower your hips and pelvis and come into Sphinx. You can point the toes or keep them flexed. Try to drag the rib cage forward. Pull the chin back, not leading with the chin. Chin back. Good, and then again, tuck your toes, chin to chest. Press down and pull in, lift up and hold. If you need your knees down on the floor, that's fine. You can have the knees on the floor for support. Good, and then lower down. Last one, coming into Sphinx. Pull the chest forward and through, shoulders back. And then roll it up to plank. Tuck your chin, lift the ribs, belly, hips, and thighs. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down, and then just come all the way down and rest. And if you want to bend the knees and windshield wipe the lower legs right to left, you can do that. Good, and then release your feet to the floor. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press up to hands and knees. Good, and then you'll take your feet, either cross your ankles or feet to one side and come to your seat. And then lay all the way down on your back. Come down on your back. Good. Good. And then draw your right knee into your chest. Bend the left knee and set the left foot flat to the floor. The left foot flat. Yeah, exactly. Left foot flat, right knee into the chest. And then take the right leg to the ceiling and interlace your hands behind your thigh. Right thigh. And then maybe you slide your hands up to your calf. Or peace fingers to your big toe and press the heel away from you. You really want to try to keep the back of the right hip on the ground, rooted down. And then from here, you'll use your left hand. So your left hand will reach either to the outside of the right calf or the outside of the right foot, either one. And you take your leg towards you and to the left just a few inches. So you'll feel the stretch down the outside of the right leg. And you want to try to keep the right hip on the mat, pressing forward and down, rather than peeling the right hip up. So the leg comes towards you and to the left.
Keep the right hip on the mat. Breathe into the outside of the right leg, back of the right leg. And then bring it back to center. Hug your knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze. Set your right foot flat. We'll switch legs. Draw the left knee in. Give it a hug. And then extend the left leg to the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind the hamstring or the calf. You want to avoid the knee, not pulling on the knee because it'll encourage the knee to bend. And we want the legs straight if you can. Or maybe you catch the foot with one or both hands or left peace fingers to your big toe. Good, and then from there you'll hold on to the left leg with the right hand. Left leg, right hand.
And you can catch the outside of the calf or the foot. Bring the leg towards you and take it to the right a few inches. It's not a big movement. You really want to keep the back of both hips on the ground. And I feel this all the way down the left side of my left leg. Outer hip, especially. Really press the hip down and the heel up. Breathing. And come back to center, and you'll squeeze the left knee into your chest, and then set the left foot to the floor. Good, bring your feet wide apart. Let your knees just windshield wide, right to left, side to side. And then bring the feet back to the floor. Cross your right ankle above the left thigh. Flex your foot. Gently press the right thigh away from you. And then reclined pigeon. Pick the left foot up, interlace your hands either behind the hamstring or in front of the left shin. And try to keep the face, jaw, shoulders, neck relaxed. It's a little arm strength, a little bicep strength. Keep the shape of your legs. You'll return the left foot to the floor, but keep the right ankle on top of your left thigh. Stay in the same shape. Left foot to the floor, and then let your knees go to the left. So the right foot will land flat on the ground. You're in the same shape, just knees to the left. And try to maybe even scoot your shoulders to the left slightly, and try to keep the back of both shoulders on the floor. And I like to hold my right ankle in my left hand. And then you just gently press the right knee forward and right hip downward. So you'll have some traction through that right side. There's the inhale, there's the exhale. And there's the space between, the pause, the exchange. Just notice it all. And then gently come back onto your back. Set both feet flat, feet wide apart, windshield wipe your knees, right to left or left to right. And then set your feet back flat to the floor, cross your left ankle above the right thigh, flex the foot.
And then reclined pigeon, pick the right foot up, interlace your hands either behind the right hamstring or in front of the shin. You can rock a little bit side to side, or you can be still. And then reclined double pigeon. You'll set the right foot flat, keep the shape of your legs, and take them to the right. So the left foot will land on the floor. And I like to hold on to the ankle with the right hand. You might scoot your shoulders a little bit to the right. Keep the left shoulder glued to the ground. Noticing that stretch along the left hip. There's a slight twist of the abdomen right here. You're really softening the lower abdomen. Let the breath come all the way down into the low belly. And gently release. You'll roll back onto your back. Uncross your feet. One more time. Windshield light right to left. Rocking your pelvis side to side. Then bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart. You can place one hand over your heart, one hand over your abdomen. Good, and then as we make our way into the finishing poses for this morning's practice, I want you to move in a way that's true to you, mindful for yourself. So you can either take an inversion, like a shoulder stand, or hips on a block, or legs up a wall, or legs on a couch, or happy baby would be a nice finishing pose, or a forward fold if you want to come to seated and take a forward fold. That's a nice place to. Forward folds tend to calm down the nervous system very quickly. There's this like very introspective piece to forward folds. Okay, good. So yeah, legs can rest on a couch at that 90-degree angle with your calves resting on the couch might feel really good. Good, Heather. Forward fold. Legs on a chair or wall. Good. Listening to your body, seeing if you can be guided by intuition rather than expectation, rather than what you should do or what I'm telling you to do. Like really be guided by your intuition. What is your body craving before you can find rest? Our final posture is deep rest. Is there anything your body needs to get out or to complete? It could be shoulder stand to plow, could be hips on a block, you could rotate your ankles, could be headstand, handstand even. Could be forward fold or fish, heart open. Could be happy baby or hip circles. It could be gentle movements. It could be gathering what you need for Shavasana. It could be getting clothes on, socks on, blankets ready.
And start to make your way to Shavasana. And I encourage you to do this pose. I know it's like, oh, I could turn the video off and I could disappear. I could go start to get stuff done, but I promise you I won't keep you longer than 11:45, maybe a few minutes before. Promise to get you out on time. And then give yourself permission to just rest. And it's more than rest, it's more than sleep, it's more than, it's like that pause that we're like literally globally in this pause. And the more you can seep yourself in it and absorb it, I think the less likely we will have to do this again. The more we can allow ourselves to be in what's being called for right here, which is space, time, and integration into our humanness, a place to feel, a place to clear, like to clear away the busyness, clear away all of that, to return to essence, truth, the knowing that you have all that you need within you, all the insight, wisdom, guidance my teacher was talking about right now. Rather than pulling from other people's quotes that inspire you, create your own. Allowing for that space for your own mantra to come, your own wisdom to come. Rather than relying on other people's wisdom. And that's what this pose is. It's seeping yourself in your own truth, in who you are, in your unique expression. Like you are the only one that can express you. Very gently begin to move your fingers and your toes. Feel back into your body. Stretch or move in any way that you crave. And then bend your knees and you'll roll to a comfortable side. And at your own time, make your way up to a seated posture. And then touch the palms of your hands together. Bring your thumbs to your heart center. Lift your heart center to meet your thumbs. Good. Lift your thumbs to your forehead center. And just picture yourself having a great day today. You find a personal mantra. Keep saying, all is well, all is well. Blessings. Light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.